everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you're joining us from. Welcome to episode 14. Yes, 14 of the Coaches Corner. We love having these Coaches Corners, particularly these type of episodes where we get to spotlight one of our clients. So that's going to be really exciting. We have Coach Chelsie on with us today. And most of you might know who Chelsie is because she is our full-time coach. So more than likely you've had a coaching session from her. So welcome, Chelsie. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing one of your clients on to Spotlight today.
Thanks so much, Myrna. I am really excited about our guest today. Eugene McDonald has 20 years of experience in juvenile and mental health justice. He's now going back to school and he owns a production company. Busy guy. So Eugene started using the IrisVision at the beginning of this year. He did coaching in January and February, and now I'm really excited to find out how things have been going. So welcome, Eugene.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome, Eugene. And I'll let you take the reins from here, Chelsie.
Thank you, Chelsie and Myrna. I'm glad to be here.
Very good. All right. So Eugene, tell us a little bit about your vision condition and when it started.
I have been diagnosed with macular degeneration, and it started approximately 27 and a half years ago. So it's a very slow process and filled with several small diminishes and a few greater ones. And the last diminish was maybe about 6 years ago to bring me to the condition I'm in now. Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha. Okay. So how did you hear about IrisVision and what made you decide to give it a try?
I was in school when I had my last diminish, and I just kept researching, researching and researching to see what would help me be able to complete my schooling and some other endeavors that I was involved in. And I found IrisVision online, and yes, and I was so excited about it that I decided to go and try it out. It's really changed my life. I'm really glad I looked into it. But I spent a lot of hours, a couple of years looking for it, and found it
Yeah.
online. Yes.
Well, we're very glad that you found us. So, how did your friends and family react to the IrisVision?
I think, Chelsie, you got to see the first reaction. Um,
That's the
my
cool thing about being a coach. We get to be there for that first reaction. You know, when you put it on for the first time and you actually get to see
oh
your
yeah.
loved ones. So I love this part. I'm excited to hear your story.
I bet it's very fulfilling to be a coach because my daughter was shocked when I was able to tell her how many fingers she had up from across the room. Um, my
You've got
wife,
a big family, right, Eugene?
I do. I have 4 adult kids and one 9-year-old. So 1 9-year-old at home and my wife. And so my wife was really amazed and very happy. Because I was becoming frustrated with the things that I could not do anymore and requiring a lot of help. And so she was very happy about my independence. My sons were very happy to see me be able to get out and about and still take in the cultural activities that I love. So that enjoying me in it. And, it's a frightful experience going blind, especially at my age. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was a lot of relief and, a great source of independence when it was discovered for everybody.
So I have a quick question, Eugene. Um, what did your family, or how did your family react to your sight loss?
Uh, my family's very resilient. They all just started pitching in and following the lead on how to assist me. I'm sure some of them were sad, but they didn't really express it much to me because they didn't want to contribute to my, emotional downfall spiral. So
Mhm.
they just started pitching in and being helpful. Um, but being the leader of my family, I could kind of feel it. I could kind of see that they were a little disappointed. My daughter was just learning how to read.
Oh,
And so I couldn't read books to her. And so we just switched it up and had her read a little more to me.
there you go. There you go. I know that life because Eugene, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I have Stargardt's disease, which is a form of macular degeneration. So I'm a user
Oh,
of IrisVision myself. So
okay.
I totally get that life.
Yes, yes, I've read up on your condition as well.
Oh, nice.
All
Yeah.
right. So, next question for you, Eugene. What was the most challenging part of learning to work with the Iris Vision?
That is a tough question. It was, well, let me start with how, first of all, I was so excited to be able to see anything. So it was so exciting that moving forward was difficult to start with because I just would sit in awe and of what it could do for me just in general. But the most difficult thing, probably, if I had to say any difficulty, was figuring out which of the um, modes worked for which thing because it had been a while since I had really seen anything. So let me see how to explain this. Seeing is memory. It's part of seeing is memory. So I would see certain things and it was almost like reading all over again, learning to walk all over again.
Mhm.
I was learning what things were supposed to look like
Wow.
to help identify what they were. And so the difficulty was more within me than within the device. The device was of great help, I have to admit. Yeah, but learning which mode could help me and which you helped me a lot with, Chelsea. Like, for example, using the computer, you helped me to see that and go through some trial and error that the yellow, reading yellow would help me a lot more with using the computer. But
Mhm.
and that kind of differs between each condition and each person's level
Yes.
of vision. So that was the most difficult thing.
Well, it seems like you've done really well with it. What is the biggest difference between life before the Iris Vision and life now?
So uh seeing the beauty of life. I mean, just seeing the beauty of life, seeing what God has created all over again and learning how to see it. My wife, my daughter, I had never seen the texture of my daughter's hair. Just enjoying that part of life. Reading, I'm a playwright. Um, I produced a play in October that I live streamed. Um, and that was difficult, but I see how with Iris Vision, I can go back to directing. Um, Landed an acting role. I can now read parts. I'm filming tomorrow for a movie called Is It Real, where I play a pastor.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
Congratulations.
really excited about that. So just having a more fulfilling life, being able to pursue your leisure activities and my education. I'm pursuing a degree to get my license as a therapist, so I can go back into the field I previously worked in and had to leave because of my vision loss, and because I was not able to see and react. I was a corrections officer in juvenile justice and mental health corrections. So just being able to advance my career and go back into the field I love and get back into the hobbies and crafts I love. I run a small production company where I produce plays and music shows. And so it's just a lot of excitement going on since finding Iris Vision and acquiring it. So I'm just very thankful for it.
That's so exciting to hear. It's amazing, really, what something like IrisVision, and sometimes people see it as like, oh my gosh, what is this? But it's such a life-changing experience. It's not just a tool, right? It's not just another piece of technology. It's a life-altering um, technology that brings people more independence and confidence. And so it's really cool to hear your experience so far with it, and what you've been doing since you've gotten the device.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. And then, um, often people don't understand when you're partially sighted.
Mm-hmm.
People assume put your glasses on. You know,
Right.
you know, when
Right.
you say you can't see something or you can't do something, or I mean, social
Exactly.
social activities like networking are very important in business. And
Mm-hmm.
so the Iris Vision has helped me to be able to function in dimmer environments where people with visual impairment or very low vision who can see a little can't function very well because, part of sight is light. And this device here, I almost want to kiss it.
Yeah. Hey, just get a sticker, like a kiss sticker, and put it.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, definitely. I get it for sure. It's interesting because for people like us, Eugene, you're right. You do get the whole, well, put your glasses on. Okay, well, I wish I could. That would be
Yes.
so much easier. And I always, every time something like this comes up, I always give a shout out to Sam Seavey from The Blind Life. Shout out to Sam. He actually has these shirts, and one of them that I actually purchased is called. It says, "No, I did not forget my," and then it has a picture of glasses, because
And
inevitably people always say, "Did you forget your glasses?" No, I didn't.
and now that you mention it, it's actually on his podcast that I actually found the Iris Vision.
Oh, cool.
It's actually on his podcast, so big shout out to him. Yeah, big shout
Yes, for
out to
sure. We
him.
love Sam. Awesome.
Yes.
Very cool. Eugene, what would be the most important piece of advice that you would give to someone who is brand new to the Iris Vision?
Uh, I guess I would have to say try, don't give up on it. Try everything in everything that you do, try in every different mode because there is a mode, at least from my experience, that works for almost everything that I need to do. Um, one of the most exciting things that you showed me, Chelsea, was how to use the bioptic mode in the flashlight to find my shirts.
Nice.
I would be going bonkers, calling everybody in my family. What color is this shirt? How does this shirt have stripes? And so using those different modes and practicing, and based on your condition, I think that the best advice I can give someone is to try it. I even found out that it's almost it. I don't know if it works the same for you, Myrna, but it has like almost a night vision for me.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I go outside to take out the trash, the first time I went outside to take out the trash, my wife and daughter, I had to show them. I was like, I can see. I'm not just filling around in the yard. So it was pretty exciting. So I would say just give it a chance in every atmosphere, every mode that you can, and find a way that it works for you.
Right. And it's true. It does work really well in dimly lit areas, but don't walk with it. There's no depth perception, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh
very
yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I can walk with it.
Okay, that's cool.
I know
But
it's not advised, but
yeah, it's not advised.
Chelsea will tell you I like to test the limits. So I did. I initially tried doing it with my eyes. I
Hmm.
give a method that if you can't walk with it, that works. I I'll scan the area and then I'll close my eyes and walk a few steps and then open my eyes and rescan the area. And
Okay,
so
cool.
that's a good method to use if you're in motion with it, I guess. But
Right.
yeah, I know that it does come with that advisory on the
Right.
other side of the
Well,
kiss sticker.
as far as the coaches go, we will say do not walk with your device on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
Okay.
ma'am.
what you do is what you do. But
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, it really is advised that you don't walk with it on because of the lack of depth perception. But
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
really cool. It's awesome to hear that you've experienced that in a dimly lit room. It actually brightens it up, and that's why it's really great for people who have RP or retinitis pigmentosa as well.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
thank you for
Yes,
sharing
ma'am.
that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Myrna, do you want to close us out?
Yeah, so I have a question for you, Chelsie.
Okay.
So going through the coaching sessions with Eugene, which what pops out in your mind most? Like what was a pretty memorable moment?
So I don't remember which mode it was, but I do remember that Eugene turned around and looked at the wall and said, "Oh my God, I can see my plaque on the wall." And his wife was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can." And then he zoomed in. He's like, "I can read it." And that was really touching for me that he knew, mentally that the plaque was there on the wall, but he was able to see it. And then he zoomed in and he was able to read it. That was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Eugene. We really appreciate you being on the Coaches Spotlight with us today. For everyone else out there, I know we usually have a pro tip. Since today was a spotlight, we're not going to have a pro tip, but I will definitely have one for you next time around. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you have questions, please feel free to put them below in the comments. Make sure you share our video if you really liked it. If maybe, Eugene, you have some fans out there that might be willing to share the video as well. But if you are a user of IrisVision and you are interested in being a client spotlight, please let us know as well. Put it in the comments. So thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. And once again, thank you, Chelsie. Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you
See you
both.
guys next time.
Bye bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.
everybody.